everyone, and welcome back to Spyglass. I'm Bridget Call. To start off the show, I actually have a special announcement from Music Madness. 32 songs competed, and 16 of them moved on to round 2. So, let's hear the songs that moved on. Song number 1 is One More Time by Daft Punk, and it won with 87.5% of the votes. Rock Your Body by Justin Timberlake won with 78.8% of the votes. Round and Round by Rat won with 61.3% of the votes. This Town's Been Too Good to Us by Dylan Scott won with 58.8% of the votes. Nights by Frank Ocean won with 87.5% of the votes. I Love You, I'm Sorry by Gracie Abrams won with 68.8% of the votes. Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen won with 70% of the votes. Forrest Gump by Frank Ocean won with 86.3% of the votes. Spaceship by Kanye West won with 83.8% of the votes. Starry Night by The Brat won with 60% of the votes. Digital Love by Daft Punk won with 76.3% of the votes. Lovers Rock by TV Girl won with 77.5% of the votes. I Want You by Third Eye Blind won with 57.5% of the votes. Face to Face by Daft Punk also won with 57.5% of the votes. Exit Music for a Film won with 63.3% of the votes. And finally, The Reason by Hoobastank won with 72.5% of the votes. A special congrats to all of the songs that moved on to the second round. A link for the new form will be sent out shortly after this show. Now, we have an interview with Mrs. Hawk.
I am Joyce Hawk. I am the choir director here at Carmel, and I'm the fine arts department chair, and I get to direct several of the productions we do at the school as well. So I grew up in the area. I went to St. Mary in Buffalo Grove for grade school. I'm the youngest of 5 kids, and all my siblings are much older than me. So it's sort of like I have, in addition to my real parents, it's like I have 4 more people who are parents to me. I mean, I think phones and social media just makes everything so different than how it was when I grew up. And I laugh when I think back to some of the stupid or funny or silly things that I did in high school and college, and I think, really glad there's not video of that, or really glad that's not out on social media. And I feel like that's what kids like you deal with all the time now. That's just your reality, and I'm kind of glad that wasn't mine. And I feel a little bit bad for you guys that it is yours sometimes. So I've been a teacher for a lot of years. I think a little bit over 30 years. And I've always taught pretty much middle school or high school. For a while there, it was about 10 and 10 each. But now I've sort of surpassed, and I've been doing high school for I think almost 20 years. I taught in public schools for a long time. That was the whole big first chunk of my career. I taught at Barrington High School, and I taught at Stevenson High School, and taught at middle schools in Barrington and Lake Forest. So I've kind of been all over the place, but I definitely love the most what I get to do here, and that might sound cheesy, but it's really the truth. So my senior year of college, I already knew, obviously I was going through all the training to become a music teacher, but I got hired, it was my first paid job. It was a really tiny amount of money to be the vocal director for the Illini Union Board school musical. And that was a musical at U of I that was open to anyone. I think it still happens, and it's open to anyone on campus could audition for it. So I got to teach them the music for the show, and the show was Anything Goes. And first of all, I got to meet this huge world of people that I had never encountered on campus before. All these people who were great at singing and dancing, but who weren't majoring in it like I was. And so that was super cool. And then we had a thing called an invited dress rehearsal, and all the directors got to invite people to come. And I don't know what possessed me to do this, because I respected this person so much that I'm surprised that I was brave enough to invite him. But my mentor, the person who had directed the choir that I was in all 4 years, he was my conducting teacher, my high school methods teacher. I'd had him for all these classes. I invited him because I don't know why. I look back on that and I'm that was so crazy that I did that. And I just remember the show was over, and it was it was a small audience because it was just invited dress, so it was maybe 100, 200 people. And it was time for vows, and my mentor and I were standing up and clapping, but we were in the front, and he Like, I saw him glance back, and then he elbowed me, and he was like, look at that. And I turned around, and they were being given a standing ovation. And I had this moment where I realized, like, I enjoyed that feeling more than having, like, been on stage myself. Like, I love being on stage, but that moment, I was like, oh, this is for them. And there was something about that that, like, felt so, I don't know. It felt really great. And it made me realize, like, yeah, this is really what I love doing. That was pretty cool. In grade school, I was a big band kid, and I went to a grade school that had St. Mary in Buffalo Grove, had a huge band at the time. And I had a great band teacher, and I really respected him and looked up to him. Then I came to Carmel for high school, and at the time, Carmel had, like, a good choir, and I got, like, a letter, and I was, like, invited to be in the band. And I went to the first rehearsal, and the band had, like, 5 people in it. And yeah, I think it was, like, I think they'd had one for a while, and then it disappeared, and they were trying to, like, rebuild it. But I, having come from such a big, like, solid band experience, I was kind of like, I think I'll just stick with choir. and so I just did as many choir things as I could, and I took piano lessons and, like, all those kinds of things that you should do if you're going to teach choir, and it just all stuck. I still love instrumental things, I just don't do it as much anymore.
Do you have any major life regrets?
Oh, I don't think so. I think I've been pretty lucky and pretty blessed, so. And regret feels like it's something that's, like, not worth your energy. If you don't like the way something went, just, like, move on and try to do better next time. Like, that's what I always try to do, so. The biggest thing is people that are getting ready to go to college or whatever, like, I just feel like there's so much pressure, like, what's your major, you know, and I just think that kids, but not just kids, grown-ups too, should not be afraid to change. I remember, like, one of my first teaching jobs, I had tenure, which in the public schools is, like, kind of a big deal, because I don't know why. And then I moved on to a different job because there were other things that I wanted to do that I felt that I could do better in that job. And a lot of people questioned me, like, why would you leave? It was the same thing when I left Barrington to come here. People were like, why would you leave that place to come here? And I guess it's because, like, I just saw so much good in what I could do here, and that's always kind of like a goal of mine. So I guess I would say, like, don't be afraid to change. Don't be afraid to, like, keep seeking until you find something that you love. Because I really believe, like, if like everyone in the world was doing something that they loved, it would probably be a much better world anyway.
To close out Spyglass, we have a video made by Caitlin Drabinski on academic burnout.
I'm Caitlin Drabinski for CDN News. This week on Spyglass, I wanted to dive into academic burnout. The year is wrapping up, and we're nearing AP exams and final season, so a lot of people might be starting to stress out more about tests and grades. It's also important to take care of yourself during this time, especially since being sleep-deprived and stressed won't help you score better. To get more into this topic, I sat down with the student leaders of Erica's Lighthouse Empowerment Club. And now that we're nearing finals and the end of the year, what's something you do to make sure that you aren't getting burnt out?
I make sure to not skip meals, eat plenty of food, and don't over-review. Another thing you can do if you are studying is there are so many resources like AI generators that really help you build study guides. And I ask it questions, I review, and I learn so much more.
And I feel like the Wellness Center is a good place to just debrief with your life. And the Week Center is a great place for academics help and everything. But I feel like me personally, I like to take a break.
And if someone was struggling, what is something that they could do to improve their mental health?
Like I was saying, there's so many resources at our school that could really help. My personal choice is either ask my teacher or a friend. And if you're in that class, I'll ask a friend or a teacher. They can help because there's no reason to be afraid to ask. Everyone can ask questions. If you go in the department, you can ask other Spanish teachers, other math teachers, you know. There's always someone that can help at our school, and it's very good to be at a school like this. We have a great community that can always help each other out.
I feel like a lot of people that have higher classes are scared to ask when they're struggling because they feel that it makes them not as smart. Don't be scared to ask for help, even if you're in like AP classes, dual credit, honors classes. It doesn't make you dumber asking for help, but it doesn't make you as smart or wise if you don't and you let yourself struggle like that. I don't like to ask for help, even if I'm struggling. I'm in geometry honors, and last semester I was struggling so much with like the proofs and stuff. I went to the Reach Center and I asked for help. And I got that help and I started coming more often. It made my grades so much better. I didn't have to feel that pressure to work harder at something that I was supposed to be good at, because math is one of my better subjects.
For finals, I'll say take a break. Make sure you're well fed, and even take a walk. It's something that you can do, or even go to the chapel. And put to the chapel, and the weather says it's open to us, relax and debrief. So try to focus on yourself, but just keep calm and try to live the best you can.
Yeah. To get more into the academic resources Carmel has to support students that Marissa and Charles mentioned, I sat down with Mr. Rank, the interim director of the Reach Center.
Hi, my name is Mr. Rank. I'm the math teacher here at Carmel and also the, I guess you could say, the director of the Reach program. We have teachers that are here before school, during lunch, and after school, pretty much every single day, available to help out with a variety of different subjects. We also have student tutors during all of those times.
Do you see an increase in students using the center nearing the end of the year?
Every year, and every semester, there is sort of a mad dash in that last month. So absolutely, there's a need. So if you need help, my biggest recommendation, come on in now. Mornings is always a quieter time. I'm here usually most days by 7:05, and we have people in here until about 7:55.
What do you suggest for students preparing for finals and exams?
I know usually kids like to wait until they have a study guide, until they have something. But what I would say is, we have break coming up this week, right, for Easter, and so this is a perfect time to get organized. We start with period G this year, or this semester. Go ahead and ask your teachers now, do you have a study guide? And so that you can start getting prepared. I would also take it this time to look at Veracross, look at your grades. Do you have missing assignments? Use this sort of long weekend to recharge and really prep.
And what do you suggest for any students struggling?
First off, come see me, please. Whether I'm your teacher or just the director here at Reach, I want to help you, and I'll put you in touch with the people that will help you, or I'll help you myself. It's taking that first step of realizing, that you want help, and that's okay. It's okay to struggle. It's hard. It's a lot. The teachers in the Reach Center are here to help you get organized first, to sort of create a plan, and then we have so many people that are willing to help. This semester we are hosting that Corsairs Against Procrastination. It will be on an early release date. I believe the date will be May 12th, which is a Monday, from 2 to 4 o'clock. We will be sending that out, and we're trying to get a little more organized ourselves. So this year we are going to try to this semester we're going to host a registration. So that will be sent out just to get an idea of the primary areas of need. We'll have sections. So parts of the IC will be for physics and only physics. And then we'll have other parts for math and Algebra 1 and Algebra 2. And so, the more information we have, the more kids that sign up ahead of time, the better off we can be in terms of helping you get what needs to be done. And more details to come when we come back from Easter.
As Marissa said, it doesn't make you dumber to ask for help, and it doesn't make you smarter for not doing so. I chose this topic because this year has been especially stressful for me, and I don't think I'm alone in the time-consuming schoolwork and extracurriculars. I know a lot of people that consistently get less than 6 hours of sleep every school night, which includes myself. For reference, the CDC recommends teens to get at least 8 hours of sleep every night, which helps to support your immune system and other things vital to your health. So with that, I leave you. Remember to drink water, eat good food, and try to get good sleep. For CDN News, I'm Caitlin Javinsky.
Thank you for watching. I'm Bridget Call, and this was Spyglass.